How envious. I struggled to sit upright and perch my elbows on top of the windowsill and observe all the other people who go by their daily lives. Children running around the grassy fields, their parents sitting on a blanket laid out while taking a sip of juice, smiling in delight to see their sons and daughters are having a blast. Even the tired office man looks so lively today. It must be payday. Meanwhile, I feel like I'm serving a prison sentence for the past years of my life, and the very cell that holds me captive is my very body afflicted with a disease. But I digress. I think we need to start at the beginning. During my years in high school, I started to find it difficult to get around the floors of the main buildings. Further into the years, even sitting up straight and in the armchair and standing up proved to be difficult. Not long after I graduated, I was diagnosed with something at a moderately severe stage. Attending any college or university was now out of the question, as I found myself spending my days within the confines of a hospital room every 6 months when the disease had acted up. Phoenix? A voice echoed out of my room before the door swung open. It was my physician. Hi, how have you been? Could be better. They noticed that I was looking out of the window again. It's a warm and sunny day, so it's nice to see you getting sunlight through the window, yeah? I suppose. Taking a hint that they shouldn't really make any small talk to further down my mood, they flipped through their charts and wheeled in a cart. Well, either way, it's time for your diagnosis and to replace the IV with a fresh bag. On the brighter side, at least the concentration of steroids in the drip reduced significantly ever since you first started treatment. Take it as a sign that you're finally on the road to getting better. I suppose I can look at it that way. I pushed myself off of the windowsill and crawled over the bed, trying to sit upright as I extended my arm. The physician continued to make small talk to me, and I did my best to reply. It's kinda hard to answer all his questions when everything he asks about are mundane things like, how was your day? Have you been up to anything lately? As if someone who's confined in a hospital can do anything else than lie down still and suffer in the hospital bed. But there was something in particular they asked me that got my attention. So, Phoenix, I want to ask you a far-fetched question. It piqued my interest. Go on. Would you like anything from us to help keep your mind busy? Something that I would like to keep me busy. Well, I looked out the window and I thought and thought. A sketch pad, a set of pencils, both colored and regular. The physician smiled at my answer. Great idea. I'll make arrangements so that I can give those to you in an hour. After the physician finished their procedures and checked up with me, they left. True to their word, a nurse brought over a pair of sketch pads and a set of colored and regular pencils. Thank you so much. Struggling to sit upwards towards the windowsill again, I managed to lay down the sketch pad on top for support, and now I have a clear view of the world outside. If I could leave this place, I'd explore it to its fullest. I started sketching. I had always liked drawing ever since I was a child, even if it was doodles. Or some sketches, they may not have been the best, but it was still mine, and it kept my hands and my mind busy, and that alone was therapeutic enough. Words and symbols like celestial and the moon had always been echoing within me, a desire to see what the world has to offer should it give me the chance to start anew, free from the sickness and away from the prison that is my diseased body. After a few more hours that I didn't realize had passed, the sketch came out rather beautifully. I heard a knock on my door. Come in. The door swung open, and my physician stepped in. They smiled with delight when they saw what I had been drawing. That's a beautiful piece of work you drew. Mind if I take a closer look? No, not at all. They walked closer and I handed them over the sketch pad. They had an impressed look on their face as they examined my work. I know this creature. This is a wolf, right? Did you know that wolves are known for their loyalty, guardianship, and protective nature? You know your mythology well, Doc. I'm just an avid reader myself, nothing much to it. They handed the pad back to me and smiled. Moreover, I'm happy that you're putting my little gift to use. How long has it been since you started drawing? Let's see. I lost count of the hours, honestly. All I remember is that I started drawing while there was still sunlight. And now it's like afternoon, right? That long? You managed to sit upright and draw continuously for hours? Phoenix, that's a huge step forward. They wrote a few notes on my chart with a gleeful look. All right then, now I recommend you get some rest for now. We'll have your meal ready for you in just a bit as well, so look out for it, okay? All right, Doc. They smiled at me before leaving the room, and I was soon forced to return back to my idle self, lying down in the bed alone with my thoughts. After the meals were served and I had assistance in getting myself cleaned up for the night, I headed to bed. I turned aside and saw that my wolf sketch was prompted upright on my bedside table. If I could just run free. My eyes felt heavy with the images of a wolf as the last things that entered my mind.